have a
Is it not working?
No, it's working.
If we bounce around, maybe they'll
Sit down, breathe, and just listen.
Great, are we good?
As a culture, we put a lot of weight into falling in love. But what really gives a relationship longevity is when you grow into love instead. When you've been through a lot of sadness and heartache, falling in love is jarring and scary. It takes courage to love again. It takes courage to leap and reach for something that you thought wasn't ever a potentiality. And it takes a deeper kind of love to look at a person you love and tell them, I don't care if you change. I want to love you as you are, even if that means learning who you are and learning to love you all over again. When that love gets reciprocated, an incredibly special relationship is nurtured. In my personal experience, I can count on one hand the number of relationships I know that are like this. And none of them have impacted me the way that Elaine and Rin's relationship has. For the most part, I've been lucky to have been a bystander to most of their friendship milestones through their stages of growth and the memories that have been made along the way. Not too long ago, I had the joy of spending a weekend with Rin and Elaine, and one of the things that struck me was something that Elaine said to us when we went out to dinner. You two make me a better person. It was over something simple, but as things do when I'm with Rin and Elaine, it stuck with me. At its barest, Elaine meant it about getting perspectives from a different walk of life and how that knowledge makes a person change. There are a lot of things that people have told me that I never really put too much stake in. But one that I always did was that we become most like the people we spend our time with. I like to believe that we also become like the people we give parts of our heart to. You too, the way that you love each other, make me a better person. And it is a privilege to see that love nurtured in two people that I care so deeply for. It's been a long and weird that got us here. But in hindsight, I can't say that I recognize the couple standing before me. You have both come so far from where you were even a year ago, and you still have a lifetime ahead of you. To grow as individuals, to grow together, and to grow into each other as friends, lovers, and partners. I look at you two now and see two people who are willing and ready to weather anything as long as you're together, because you already have.
Natalie. You remember that.
When you're driving with an accident, When we are driving in the dark on the long road to Provincetown, when we are weary, when the buildings and the scrub pines lose their familiar look, I imagine us rising from the speeding car. I imagine us seeing everything from another place, top of one of the pale dunes or the deep and nameless fields of the sea. And what we see is a world that cannot cherish us, but which we cherish. And what we see is our life moving like that, along the dark edges of everything. Headlights sweeping the blackness, believing in 1,000 fragile and unprovable things, looking out for sorrow, slowing down for happiness, making all the right turns, right down to the thumping barriers to the sea, the swirling waves, the narrow streets, the houses, the past, the future, the doorway that belongs to you.
When we are old one night, and the moon arcs over the house like an antique china saucer, and the teacup sun follows somewhere far behind, I hope the stars deepen to a shine so bright you could read by it if you liked, and the sadness we will have known go away for a while in this hour or two before sleep. And that we kiss standing in the kitchen, not fighting gravity so much as embodying its speed force. And I hope we kiss like we do today, knowing so much good is said in this primitive tongue, from the wild, first surprising ones to the lower, dizzying 10,000 infinitely slower ones. And I hope, while we stand here in the kitchen, making tea and kissing, the whistle of the teapot wakes the neighbors.
Our capacity for love increases with each person we cross paths with throughout our lives and with each moment we spend with those people. But too often we neglect that part of ourselves in favor of others. And by the time we realize how important that is, we find ourselves with fewer people to practice with. But you two had what nobody else had: time. Time enough to learn how to care for each other and learn to be cared for. And that love grew and it grew until it reached the point that all great loves grow toward, the point of inevitability.
I wake up in your bed. I know I have been dreaming. Much earlier, the alarm broke us from each other. You've been at your desk for hours. I know what I dreamed. Our friend the poet comes into my room, where I've been writing for days. Drafts, carbons, poems are scattered everywhere, and I want to show her one poem, which is the poem of my life. But I hesitate and wait. You've kissed my hair to wake me. I dreamed you were a poem, I say, a poem I wanted to show someone, and I laugh and fall dreaming again of the desire to show you to everyone I love. Openly together, the pull of gravity, which is not simple, which carries the feathered grass a long way down the upgrade path.
You got that.
No, I think you guys should go right for it.
Ways I got one of the ways I got through the hardest, scariest time of my life was by listing all of the people. Think of a name. Think of a name. I listed many people. Louder? Louder.
I couldn't really hear it.
Thank you, Simon. Should I start over? Okay, starting over. I'm not used to projecting.
Take two.
One of the ways I got through the hardest, scariest time of my life was by listing all of the people I knew were there for me. Take a breath, think of a name, take a breath, think of a name. I listed many people on it, some of whom are here today, but always and usually near the top. As a friend, you sparked my creativity and you saved my life. I always never between us, even if it took me a minute to figure it out. But I did, and then I said something, and then a lot of weird things happened. and we became partners, not just in writing, but in our hearts and our lives. We've made something new here together, something unexpected, but safe, happy. I never thought this would happen, and I'm so grateful. I love you so much. I love the look in your eyes when you're about to say something absolutely wild. I love seeing you get fired up when you really care about something, whether it's a sociology thing or the creative process or the mountain goats. And I love when we can be petty about something together. I'm always excited to see your art, read your writing, and I love seeing how you've grown as an artist and a writer and a crocheter. And I'm in awe of your fashion sense. But you're gorgeous. The but is only that you're gorgeous. It doesn't matter what you wear. Your example and experience makes me a better person. You make me think about what I know and what I believe. Because of that, I feel more deeply myself when I'm with you. I can't imagine my life without you. I want to be able to get with you. We've already been there for each other through so much sickness and health and rich times that lead, grief, and celebration. We've lived together for more than a year now in this stupid pandemic. And I know you have my back, and you know I got you. Still, I have promises to make out loud again, over again, in front of our loved ones, the community who has been so important to us. So, I promise to slow down to point out every dog. I promise to hold space for you, to listen when you need to talk, to be there for you when you need to cry. I promise to remember that no two people can be everything to each other, and to support all the relationships where you can be you. I promise to be the keeper of the spreadsheets and to use the endless to-do list in my head as a support and never as a reproach. I promise to approach every situation in our lives together with kindness, curiosity, and respect. I promise to seek equity between us, to appreciate our different strengths and needs. I promise to be a source of safety, and if ever I am not, to let you go where your safety lies. I promise to cherish and adore your whole self, and to help us both remember to eat a food. I promise to celebrate our successes and to savor our moments of creativity. I promise. I forgot this one. Yep, it's a rickety patio. I promise when the time is right, we will get the cube of Furbies. I promise to trust you and to be worthy of the trust you have put in me. I promise to love you exactly as you are and to continue to love the person you become every day for the rest of my life.
Mine are even longer than that.
I really don't like long.
Sorry, bud. I can't just describe how grateful and humbled I am to stand up here in front of our family and friends to do Will Smith pointing each other for a whole afternoon. But even more than that, I'm so grateful and humbled to call you my wife. You're my favorite. Yes, more than the Mountain Goats, or the Adventure Zone, or Polar Seltzer. More than all of those things combined. You are the best part of my life, and now I get to tell the world about it. When we first started talking, I thought you were so cool. I know you think that you're not, but that feeling never faded. I never would have imagined this life for us, but it's a surprise that has rewarded me over and over. The first time we met in person, I knew that you were different, that we were different, and that I loved you. That I wanted you to be as close to me as possible. That when it was time to go back to Massachusetts, it would be near impossible to be without you. You are the dream that I want to dream forever. I want to get old together, and I never want to be without you. Over the past few years, we've been through so much, and we've lost a lot. But what I've gained is so much greater. I gained a best friend, writing partner, a confidant, a lover, and now a wife. All in one. I gained a new place to live that I love. I gained a home, a place where we are truly safe. I gained stability and truly unconditional love. I gained a family, yes, creamsicle included. And most of all, I gained you. More of who you truly are and who you're becoming every day. That has been the biggest reward of all. For reading mine and seeing the potential in me to create something beautiful together. Thank you for reading between the lines and for please squint. Google Doc comments will always be our love language. Thank you for seeing me for exactly who I am and loving me wholeheartedly. I promise to see you and love you with just as much intensity. Thank you for filling the ice cube tray and for reminding me to take my meds, for charging all the batteries. Thank you for always pointing out the dogs, no matter where we go, for driving to Dutch Brothers even though there's closer coffee. Thank you for holding me when I cry, even when it feels like I do it every day. The same is true for you too, that you can cry whenever you need to. Thank you for being my kitchen dancing partner in the sat box, but thank you for choosing me, for saying let's do this together. We'll never be alone no matter what we're facing, and that's the meaning of strength. So I have my promises left. I promise to love you with trust, honesty, and grace. Always cherish you exactly as you are. I promise to be the best version of myself that I can be for you and to live my life in a way that honors us both. I promise to always be here for you, be your shoulder to cry on, ready with a hug whenever you need one. I will always support you, protect you, and be by your side no matter what, the richer, the poorer, and the sickness. I promise to be your home no matter where we are. I promise to be your safe place no matter what else is happening. And I promise that if you ever feel unsafe, you can always go without fear of consequence. I promise to always try and to keep trying on days when it feels too hard. And I promise I will be here for your hard days to hook you up and dust you off too. I promise to forever be the person you can trust with anything. You are the person I tell all my secrets to. I promise to choose you and to choose joy. I'm gonna love you for the rest of my life, and I can't wait to do this with you. I love you. Oh wait.
Rings.
Love is a temporary madness. It erupts like volcanoes, then subsides. And when it subsides, you have to make a decision. You have to work out whether your roots are so entwined together that it's inconceivable that you should ever part. Because this is what love is. Love is not recklessness. It is not excitement. It is not promulgation of promises of eternal passion. That's just being in love, which any fool can do. Love itself is what is left over when being in love is burned away. And this is both an art and a fortunate accident. Those who truly love have roots that grow toward each other underground. And when all the pretty blossoms have fallen from their branches, they find that they are one great element. That being said, I pronounce you married.
I know.